Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to the farm. It's very crunchy outside today. Minus 28 up here on the hill. And of course there's got to be a little bit of a breeze blowing. So we're going to make a quick journey. We're going to get over to the shop. We're going to get the tractor fired up. I got to run a hay bale out to the sheep and a straw bale for some bedding. We got quite a bit of snow here. Looks to be about 4 to 6 inches of snow in the last 24 hours. I'm going to give them somewhere warm to lay. Can't just leave them out there and pocket full of pneumonia. I just shoveled off the walk in front of the big doors there, so when I roll the tractor out, I don't pack a bunch of snow down the sidewalk and then come in to get everything fired up. It is much warmer in the shop here than it is outside, that is for sure. Now, if you watched last night, you'll see we did a live stream up in the studio. I say we. It's me and Millionaire Farmer on our joint channel, Smoking Oaks. We had a good time there, good catch up after quite a long break. And he was kind enough to bring me a bottle of Jamaican vanilla back from his vacation that he took there. And what's funny is I think he dropped the bottle last night and some spilled out, but instead of cigar smoke, like the whole shop smells like vanilla right now. It's actually it's very fresh in here. Yesterday, on my way home from work, I did stop at Peavey Mart. Got a new solar energizer for the farm. This thing was on 30% off at Peavey Mart. Peavey Mart's a bit of a sad story for some folks. Kind of a loss of a Canadian rural retail giant, but and I get it. For some folks, like that's been their go-to for decades, right? But I've been on the fence. The quality control, the service, the inventory, all that's kind of gone in the trash. So I honestly, maybe it makes me a bad person, but I was there to take advantage of the 30% off sale. And I'm excited for a number of other small local retailers, like out in Goodfair, we got HH Farm Store, sorry. So they got fence panels, they got feed, they got net wrap, they got all kinds of stuff for starting chicks and keeping chickens. They got all stuff you need for ear tagging. They got cheesecake, so give them a check out. I know it's closer for us to go there than it is ever to go to Grand Prairie. So you don't find yourself going out to Goodfair very often, but if you think, well, you just make a run into Grand Prairie to pick up some ear tags or whatever, well, you can maybe just run out to Goodfair and get it and get yourself some cheesecake at the same time. Probably spend some money on some stuff that you only need, not a whole bunch of stuff that, because once you're in Grand Prairie, you end up spending more money than just whatever you spend on ear tags. Isn't that the truth? But so check them out. And then there's lots, and that's just one that's local here. But in your local communities, there could be dozens of other small retailers, small business startups that are trying to break into the market. And the service is there, the inventory is there. If they don't got it, I bet you they're willing to get it. And the quality control, you'll see that there's more of those little stores that's not only sold in Canada, but made maybe in Canada, but also maybe made like locally, like within 100 kilometers type of locally, right? So you see Peavey Mart, it's a big Canadian store, but 90% was in there was from China, Taiwan, whatever, all over the world. Like just because it's sold in Canada doesn't mean it's Canadian. Well, today's my first day getting in the tractor since I had that big spill on the ski hill last Sunday. I kind of thought after a week this actually wouldn't be so bad, but actually it is quite bad. It still feels like, my ass still feels like I sat on a butter knife or something. I don't know, it's bad. And clutching and braking, not that much fun. Never mind getting in and out of the tractor. Anyways, it is what it is, unfortunately. I'm gonna get a straw bale here. I think we'll do that first. Get the straw bale over the fence. Then you can spread that out, have somewhere to bed down. And then we'll get a hay bale out to the field there. Get them all fed up. Try to do it as efficiently as possible, so as few get outs of the tractor as the guy could possibly have. So I don't have to go up and down a bunch of times. In an effort to minimize the number of get-ins and get-outs and ups and downs, I brought both bales in at once. cut all the strings off at once, put them in the bucket. I'm going to run the bucket over to the burning barrel, run the whole tractor over to the burning barrel, drop the strings, and then drive back here and drop the bales over the fence when they got to go. I think it's an interesting thing, like when a guy's got a sore leg or whatever, sore ass and a sore leg in my case, it's a really good experiment for science to find out exactly how inefficient you are the rest of the time, right? So the whole rest of the time I would have got in and out of that tractor 4 or 5 times instead of just twice. Well, maybe, you know, there's some silver lining to this. Maybe some positivity. Maybe I get 5 minutes of my day back or something like that. You never know. Maybe I chew it up. Maybe I chew it up driving all the way across the yard and dump strings in the burning barrel and then drive all the way back and dump the bale. Maybe it's not about time, but maybe it's just about physical exertion. I'm not sure. I'm in the chicken house here now, and I'm just rigging up the new water that I got yesterday from Peavey Mart. This is 7 gallons. Now, I don't really know how long 7 gallons is going to last, but I know this one here, you can see the size difference, doesn't last an entire week. So it'd be fantastic if 7 gallons would last an entire week. I will say this hot plate that's down here, I got that off Amazon. Not advocating for Amazon, not advocating for the product. It's hot in here, holy. But it is working. It's keeping the water defrosted during these real cold temperatures. What does good look like? Good looks like, well, I keep all this outside and I don't have any water in my chicken house at all because that contributes to humidity issues. But we've just had some big like ups and downs, massive temperature swings. And it'd be very inefficient for me to try and ferry water from outside to inside to outside to inside, because I find that if I insulate and heat trace one of these water jugs, I can get it to be good to about somewhere between minus 15 and minus 20 before it freezes off, and then the chickens are without water. So they got to have water all the time. Fresh water is critical for their health as well as for egg production. I know there's some people that say, well, they can survive on snow. Wild birds survive on snow. Yeah, they survive, but they don't thrive on it, right? And you're certainly not going to get the egg production that you're hoping for out of them. So we're going to give this one a shot. We're going to see, today's Saturday, we're going to see how many days that thing lasts for. I'm going to take this one back into the shop, empty it out, and you can see it's got a little bit well water, right? And whatever organic material they drop in there, what does that make? It makes some algae. So we'll get it cleaned up, bleached out, rinsed off, and put on a shelf, ready to go for next week. Anyways, before I run that over to the shop there, I got a question for the viewers at home. The whole US-Canada tariffs thing kicks off today. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean for us economically, for either the United States or for Canada or for our what has been a long-standing friendly relationship. I don't know what this means, but I do think that tariffs is just a fancy word for sanctions, right? Sanctions is a word that you use for a country that you don't like. You know, they put sanctions against Iraq, they put sanctions against Russia. It's a form of economic warfare, right? You basically starve them out. It's old school siege warfare, right? Well, tariffs is the same tool, just applied slightly differently. So I'd be interested to know, like, does anybody see it differently? Is there any advantages to this? Is there any, like, what's the downstream, like, what's going to happen as a result of this economically in Canada and in the US? I don't know, but I'd be interested to hear if anybody else got an opinion on it. Let me know in the comments.